Well, here you go, guys. The WPL C24 kit. This is one of my first WPLs I ever got. The one that got me addicted to the WPL line. Check out the details on this rig. Well, there you go, guys, the WPL C24 kit. I'm gonna go ahead and revisit this build. It's got my 2-speed, all original WPL metal upgrades. The 2-speed still has plastic gears in there, by the way. Still been pretty reliable for me. So yeah, let's revisit this. I just decided, let's get this truck apart so I can show you exactly what I did to make it the way it is. So let's dive into this. So here we go, guys, the truck apart right here. I can show you my first mod right here is the transmission. As you can tell here, I've used a little Lexan piece right here to go ahead and lift up the transmission from its original position. And as you can tell down here from these lower points of the link mounts, the transmission is flush with those mounts now, so the hang up is very little on this one. Now this truck comes with the original metal parts upgrade. So you can see those drive shafts right there. Those are included in that kit. The metal ring and pinion, all ball bearings throughout the axles. And let's move this to the front. Sorry for the body being attached. I don't want to have to deal with removing my lights, so I did that. But anyway, I shoved everything under here. Got all my electronics shoved in there. Receiver, 30 amp ESC, and that's the FlySky receiver you see right there. And those are my lights attached to it. That's the only reason I'm not disconnecting it completely. As you can tell right here, I have the axle truss upgrade. I don't think it's really necessary, but I did roll over my C14 right there, that gray one you see right there. And I did roll that over and like fell from a 5-foot rock and broke that axle truss, the plastic axle truss. So yeah, this one I've never been able to damage it because it is the aluminum one. And I do have the metal steering linkages, which I don't think is necessary for this truck. It's more bling really than anything. I was able to get the stock plastic links to give me no bump steer just by melting that top link a little bit. So yeah, it's not too crazy. And if you can tell in here, you see that screw that I'm screwed into the servo horn with? You see how I have a spacer right there? I'm using that kind of like a servo saver, because since that spacer is sitting there right now with this long screw, this whole attachment can bend side to side, which will save my servo from braking. Instead of the servo braking, I'm just going to have that part bend on me once in a while. So that's my little makeshift servo saver right there. And the tires, you can tell right there, the tires are trimmed. Remove the fat lugs from the outside. And over here, you see same aluminum axle truss. Now I had to modify the aluminum, well not the aluminum, I had to modify the plastic axle truss. I had to take off the little nubs that all these connect to, just so they all have a place to ride, because having this aluminum upgrade right here, it requires you to have the metal links as well too, unless you do this mod, which is pretty simple. All I did was, on the plastic mounts, I just chopped off where all the links mount to right there, and I just screwed it into the metal one. So not sure if you can tell how I did that, but it's pretty simple. It's not too hard of a job. And if you can see right here, I have spacers, and that's going to give me a little bit of a lift. Obviously not the axles, are still going to sit in the same spot. I have the front screw sitting lower than the back screw, so I screwed in the front a little bit more than the back, which is going to twist this axle upwards like this, and that's going to reduce my drive shaft angles. So that's why I did that way. Nothing too crazy. Now I have marine grease sitting inside the transmission. I have marine grease sitting inside the axle, so that's all marine greased up, all the bearings and everything. Then right here, you're gonna see my other mod. I have myself a little piece of foam right here pushing on this servo, so the servo doesn't slide back or flex this way while I'm in low gear. While climbing, it tends to slip out the gear, but ever since adding this little piece right here to push this servo towards the arm to help it from bending, I haven't had any issues with the transmission slipping anymore. So that's one good fix for this. Not obviously going to be a fix for everyone's problems. I'm going to show you how I was able to fit that 2-speed transmission in a higher location onto this body, because you are going to need to do some trimming to get that all done. Now let's get this upside down. There you go. Now if you could tell right there, all the way up to these side mounts right here, I've trimmed. You see that? It's all trimmed. That's the same with, this is the battery bay area, so you can see the gearbox protrudes into the battery bay area now, but you can still put 1000 milliamp 2S batteries in there, no problem, still fits. So I had to trim that, trim the little piece that holds this little clip-on area right here, and up front right here I had to trim where the gear shifter sits and stuff a little bit right here, just to move it inwards a little bit more, because the motor sits right there. So I don't know if you can tell from the inside. See if you can tell from the inside right there. See that? See that hole right there? Yeah. That's what I had to lift up. See that? I'm not sure if you can tell, but where the gearbox sits and stuff is all lifted right there. And that's about it. That's all I pretty much had to modify to be able to get this 2-speed to sit in a higher location. Yep. Everything else is just lights. I got the bluer lights in here instead of the yellow ones, because I got tail lights attached to this one too. And what else I have done to this? Nothing really. That's pretty much it. Running this system, or running this truck on a 2S LiPo, anywhere from a 500 to 1000 milliamp so far. And the truck crawls good with this 2-speed and 370 motor. Oh yeah, there's my other mod right there that I haven't showed. You see how the motor is covered in a sock? Just get like a thin sock that's breathable and stuff, and wrap that motor so no dirt can get in there. Water is fine most of the time. Just you don't want any grime, dirt, and stuff messing with the brushes in there. So after covering this, I've done multiple deep water runs of this, and I'm pretty sure if you watch my videos, you've seen those. Well, there you go, guys. That's the WPL C24 kit. I've had this for a couple of months now, and I'd say, yeah, half a year. And she's been good to me. If you guys watch any of my videos, you guys will know I never ran this vehicle stock really. It went to the straight WPL OP upgrade metal parts. And 2-speed transmission was in this thing within maybe 3 or a month and a half, 3 weeks to a month and a half of using. Then the 2-speed went in this rig. So yeah, it's been reliable for me. It's been a good rig. I've had a lot of fun with it. You know, obviously now the newer C34s are out, so those are new to its crew. But yeah, guys, C24K. Love this little Hilux. Fun truck to drive around. Handles really well now after all these upgrades. And if you see any of my videos, go ahead, try any of these upgrades out for yourself, or follow what I did to this rig right here, and I guarantee you will like it. Oh yeah, and one thing I always forget to mention, people always ask me what suspension I'm running on this thing because they do like the way it looks on the videos and how soft everything feels. But just so you know, that's just the stock suspension. No oil, no nothing. All I do is once in a while I flip the truck upside down, like so, and I spray some penetrating oil straight down this shaft, just a little bit at a time. I do it every now and then, and that's how my shocks look so smooth. You know, I'm guessing that maybe the shocks congealing in there and creating some sort of effect of drag to make the suspension seem a little better than it is. Well, yeah, there you go, guys. Well, guys, I hope this video helped show you what I've done to my C24 kit here. You know, go ahead and pick yourself one of these up, modify them, tinker with them, have fun with them, break them, fix them. Alright, guys. If you enjoyed this video, give me a like. Don't forget to comment and subscribe for more. And don't forget, go out there and run that RC.